Here's some of my favorite movies that you can watch in 90 minutes or less. And if you're anything like me and half the population in the world, you probably struggle to find some time to watch movies. Or maybe you're just trying to catch a movie to watch right before you go to bed and you don't want to be up for over 2+ hours. Whatever the case may be, here are 10 of my favorite movies that you can watch in 90 minutes or less. Starting off with mid-90s, which is actually Jonah Hill's directorial debut, and is a pretty great one at that, which is a coming-of-age story set during the mid-90s. Does a pretty good job capturing the skate culture and just the mid-90s. Another fun one is Cube. This one's real trippy. 5 strangers wake up in this cube-shaped room with no recollection or memory of how they got there. They quickly realize that they're stuck in a maze full of other rooms with deadly traps. It's a fun 90-minute watch. This 90-minute movie is a classic. Stand By Me, centered around 4 young boys in the 50s who go off to go see a dead body, but they end up finding each other along the way. Speaking of classics, I'd be a fraud not to mention Sam Raimi's Evil Dead. I mean, what a great directorial debut. I think he did this when he was like 20 years old. Look, you either get the Evil Dead or you don't. You either love the camp or you're not with the shits. Shit got all the classic Raimi-isms in it, and overall from a filmmaking perspective, just a necessary watch. From one horror movie to another, we got The Shallows, which as the tagline says is not just another day at the beach. Blake Lively's really good in this movie, and I would classify it more as like a horror thriller, but I shit you not. They keep making these movies to make me never want to get in the water ever again. Maybe you're in the mood for a nice little found footage creature feature, in which case Cloverfield is right up your alley. And I'm sure most people have seen this movie already, but just the whole mystery around this movie even dropping was great. And when you finally realize what the movie's about, you're kind of just like, oh shit, they really went there. And went there they did. On the topic of found footage movies, next up we got Chronicle, which stars a young Michael B. Jordan and Dane DeHaan, the Green Goblin. 3 kids discover this alien cube in like a cave, and they all develop superpowers. But what happens when you give a mistreated kid superpowers? Nothing good, I'll tell you that, but a good 90-minute watch. Or maybe you're a fan of classic cinema, in which case Paths of Glory by Stanley Kubrick would be right up your alley. This quickly became one of my favorite war movies of all time. It actually has a very touching and beautiful anti-war message in it that I would consider this a must-watch. Next up, I got Before Sunset, which to me is just like peak cinematic romantic filmmaking, and it has to be one of the best sequels of all time. Hell, it might be the best movie in the entire franchise. The chemistry between Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy is palpable. It'll have you blushing and shit and falling in love. Finally, I have Perfect Blue, and you know if it has perfect in the title, it's going to be damn good. Just beautifully animated, but to me, it's one of the best psychological thrillers I've ever seen in my life. If that's your vibe, you're going to love this movie. But those are only 10. There's even way more I could recommend. So let me know some of your favorite 90-minute movies down in the comments below, and as always, like and follow for more.